Presence is a new supernatural drama that just came out this past weekend. It's directed by Steven Soderbergh. Steven Soderbergh is one of the most interesting filmmakers working today. I mean, he's made movies like Kimmy and Unsane in previous years, Contagion. I mean, the list goes on. The guy has made a lot of really interesting movies, and he's back directing this one. This movie also stars Chris Sullivan, and it stars Lucy Liu. It also stars Kailina Liang, I think that's her name. So the concept for this movie is pretty simple. There is a family that moves into a new house, and everything that this family is going through in this movie is told from the perspective of a ghost. That's right, everything that you see in this movie is through the eyes of a spirit that is in the house, that is watching this family and observing them as they go through the ups and downs and the traumas of their day-to-day lives. And that's really all there is to the story, and I saw this movie this weekend and I needed to sit with it for a little bit, and now I'm ready to talk about it. I already mentioned Steven Soderbergh and how he's like an interesting filmmaker. He's made a bunch of really good movies over the years. He is kind of a pioneer when it comes to inventive technology through the filmmaking process. He'll take something regular, like a small scale story, and then he'll just apply different methods of filming it, different ways for the audience to see it. The entire movie is from the point of view of a ghost, which is one of those interesting ideas and concepts that you wouldn't think that would ever exist in a genre like this when it comes to like ghost movies. In ghost movies, you see the ghost terrorize the family, and it's all about their point of view because we like to be grounded in the human experience. Well, this movie, it grounds you more from the point of view of the ghost, and it's not like the ghost itself is a real character in the movie. It's more so that it's from the point of view of the camera work and the filmmaking, and in that sense, Steven Soderbergh has once again successfully become a character in his own movie unintentionally. It's compelling. It definitely makes for an interesting watch, and I will say that in terms of execution, they don't do a half bad job of it. I like the fact that it focuses on a lot of POV shots. It's a lot of long, continuous takes with a wide lens. Obviously, there are going to be some cuts. They try to make it seem like there's as few cuts as possible in this film. It does kind of feel like you're a fly on the wall, or that you're just kind of this invisible person that's sitting there watching this family go through things, watching them talk, watching them in their rooms while they're doing homework. You know, it's the little shit day by day. I say all that to say that if you're looking for this to be a horror movie, holy shit, are you gonna be mad at this one. This is not a scary movie. This is not a horror movie. This is not a movie with a lot of excitement or thrills. If that is what you're looking for, you're gonna hate this movie. And honestly, I can't blame you, because everybody's got their own cup of tea they gotta sip from. This is really just an emotionally grounded family drama that has the added gimmick of, hey, what if we saw a family drama from the point of view of a ghost? So every now and then there will be some ghost shit in a scene. Things will fall off shelves and stuff like that. And the ghost apparently likes folding clothes and moving books to where they should be, so hey, it's at least a nice ghost. But I do have to prepare you for that going in. It is definitely not the type of ghost story that you're used to. It's more like Paranormal Activity, except without all of the shenanigans. There's some good solid performances here, namely from Chris Sullivan, who I thought was the best part about the entire movie. He's a father. He's going through some shit with his wife. I mean, he's trying to be there for both of his kids. He's a guy that's trying to hold it all together. I feel like that's a character we all can connect with. I also thought Catalina Liang was pretty good, as she's one of the main characters of the movie too. I also will say there is a twist in this movie. If you get to the end of the movie, there's a twist, and I'm not gonna lie, this twist kind of saved the movie a little bit for me. Going into this final scene, I had questions, I had concerns, I had things where I'm like, wait a minute, what about? And then this twist happens and I'm like, oh, well, I mean, okay, I can sort of see it now. No, I did mention the word gimmicky before, and I will say, as we get into some of the negatives of the film, the whole point of view of the ghost thing does feel kind of gimmicky. Like I said, this is really more of a family drama at its core, and it does feel like if it weren't for you seeing the whole thing from the point of view of the ghost, I'm not really sure that there would be enough here that would make you feel compelled and interested to sit through, I don't know, an hour and a half of it. I say hour and a half because I'm not really sure how long the movie is. I feel like it's an hour and a half, maybe even a little bit less. The point is, it does feel like that is the gimmick that kind of saves the movie and gives you something to look forward to, because you're just curious about this spirit and what's gonna happen. It's not even really a huge negative issue. It's just something I figure I should point out for the review. I do feel like this movie does have pacing issues. A lot of the scenes in this film are going to feel very repetitive. Because this movie is not your typical ghost story, it's gonna have a lot of scenes that focus on people in their rooms, people having conversations in and outside of this house. And a lot of these conversations and a lot of these scenes are going to start to blur together after a while, because it doesn't feel like the story has a lot of forward momentum. I think the biggest thing that holds this movie back actually is some inconsistent character work. Honestly, the daughter and the father are the two best characters in the entire movie. The other characters in the movie, I'm not sure if the movie, I'm pretty sure the movie did this intentionally, but they might be like some of the most inherently unlikable people that a movie like this could ever hope to have. I spent several parts of this movie fantasizing about some of these characters dying. I mean, that's how insufferable they were. I'm not saying they have to be completely likable. I'm just saying it would be nice to have something that I can latch onto them as human beings that I can connect with. Instead, it feels like the entire movie you're just supposed to hate them. So then when some big stuff starts happening later in the movie, it doesn't have the impact that it should have. Why? Because I've been fantasizing about the most agonizing ways for these people to die for like the entire runtime. Even with one character who does eventually get an arc that kind of ties into the twist, it still feels like it doesn't fully redeem or make up for what you watched for the last hour and a half. And so I do have to mention that this is an interesting premise, an interesting concept, even if it is a little bit gimmicky. We do get an emotionally grounded family drama. It's definitely not your typical jump scare type of movie. In fact, it's not a scary movie at all. It's weird that I feel like this movie doesn't have a lot of replay value, while at the same time, it feels like I should try to watch this movie again because I might gain another perspective on it. So I don't know, it's one of those interesting things. We'll see how it goes. Presence was a solid watch, even though I know it's gonna frustrate some people. I'm gonna leave this one in the Daily Planet. Those are my thoughts on Presence, so tell me, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Give me your thoughts on the film or on Steven Soderbergh himself in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.